Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. I wanted to show you something I've been working on for a little bit. It is altering or repurposing Project Life cards. I went through the whole Project Life saga, I guess you could call it. I have loads and loads and loads of memory keeping cards, whether they're Project Life brand or some that I got from Cocoa Daisy, or I mean there were all kinds of companies that put those kind of cards out. So I have them from every company imaginable, and I still do a little bit of pocket scrapbooking, but hardly ever anymore. So I thought, with all of these cards I have in my scrapbook room or in my craft room, I need a way to use them. So I have come up with something that we can use in our journals if we want to. This is all, except for little scraps here and there, all oh, even that piece is, sorry, this piece and this and this. That vellum is not Project Life. All the rest of this is Project Life altogether, Project Life cards. So 4x6 cards, 3x5 cards, all made with this. I'll use to make this. And I'm looking up there to get a journal. There we go. And so if you have a journal, you have a pocket somewhere, these little pretties can go down in your pockets like so. And even with that wax seal on there, it can go in the pocket. Of course, it could go in belly bands too. I didn't even think about that. They could go in a belly band. They could go in the pockets that you have actually on your pages also. Let me see. I don't know that I've got a journal right here that I could show that. Even with your Traveler'S notebooks, these could go in there, in any of the pockets that you have in your Traveler'S notebooks. The secretarial pockets or the full-length pockets, they could go in there. So all kinds of places that these could go, and on the pages of your journals. Also, we have a pocket on the front with a journal card, and then we have a 2 secretarial pocket on or a double secretarial pocket, not a 2 secretarial pocket. That makes no sense, Melina. A double secretarial pocket on the other side with a little tab and a phrase sticker on each of the tabs. Then I have 3 journaling cards, and these just have, let's see, that's actually the real journal card. It had some graph paper on it, but I covered up what was behind there with a little piece of book page, and then that's tea-dyed paper with book page. And then on the other side, this is the actual 3x5 card itself. I just didn't like the other side of it, so I didn't cover that side up. This is a cut apart from another collection I've just got in my stash. So there are those 2, and then this one is also a cut apart, same cut apart as that, and then same cut apart on the other side. But I just thought that was the cutest thing, and I put the card down on the actual 12x12 paper where I wanted it, and then cut around it, and that's how that one turned out. I just love that. So we could flip-flop them any way we want to. We could add coffee dyed paper or ink stain paper to the back of one of these to write on, or just leave them decorative like this. So I will show you how this came about. Now, if you have some Project Life cards that you like the look of them. Like, this is not bad. I like that. It's kind of vintagey, but then, you know, the back, not really my cup of tea, so I'd want to change that. But, you know, if you've got some Project Life cards like this one, if it didn't have all this yellow, I like that mustardy look, but the checks on this one I'm not really crazy about. But I'm thinking about fussy cutting this bird out and using it. So if you've got some Project Life cards that you really like, then you can still use them and just cover up one side of them. So like this one, I'm thinking I want to stamp a little bit on the edge of this one and maybe put a couple of dots of color from some spritz bottles on this one, and then just cover this back for the next one that I make. So this is the little 3x5 cards. And then I've got out a few 4x6 cards. You only need one of these to make this pocket that we have put together. Let's see. I think I will go with this one. None of these are really my cup of tea at all. And I will probably end up covering them and making one of these with that. This is thick. You will not, that's why I'm saying you're only going to need one. You don't need to put two of these together because once you put your pockets on, it does get a little thick. But like you saw at the very beginning, I put this into junk journal and a traveler's notebook, and it fits fine. It wasn't too bulky. All right, so what I do first is I pick what 4x6 card I want. Now, if you do not have Project Life cards sitting around, you didn't go through that whole phase, it's okay. All you need to do is cut a piece of thin cardstock, 4x6, 4 inches by 6 inches, and then 3 more at 3 inches by 5 inches. So if you don't have Project Life cards, don't worry about that. You can cut your scrap paper or whatever size you want. But this is 4 inches by 6 inches and 3 inches by 5 inches. All right. And I'm getting some paper out of my stash. Now you can use paper or you can use cardstock. I'm going to use some book page also. And as you can see on this one, I did use book page as the backing on both sides. And then I added cardstock on the top of that one on that side. I have found that book page does not really cover up when you have a bold design on your Project Life cards. So you'll need to, you know, put something solid cardstock wise on top of it before you put on your book page. So I think I want to put this green. This is like an olive green color. I think this is Stamp It Up paper or cardstock. And all I do, now you could do this however you would like, but I get out my liquid glue. You could get out Collage Page if you wanted to, I guess. I get out the liquid glue and I just get it all nice and covered. And then if you've got a silicone spreader or, you know, a fat paintbrush or something like that, just kind of spread it out so it gets all the way to the edges because you need it covered totally. So I'm just going to cover all of that. And maybe in the middle is not so important to be covered completely, but all of the edges is very important to get all of those covered so that when you go to put it down on your new cardstock, it is all the way to the edge and you don't have to go back and glue anything. So I'm just moving this around, making sure I'm getting a good solid, tight fit there, and no lifting on the edges. There. And then I'm going to get my sticky scissors. I think I might go over this one more time with my bone folder, just to spread all of that adhesive out, get it nice and even, and then use my sticky scissors. Now, if you have not watched my channel before, my sticky scissors are the scissors that I use, I set aside just for cutting when there is a sticky situation. So glue, Mod Podge, Collage Podge, any kind of adhesive on the edge of something that's going to need some cutting. I have one pair of cutter bee scissors that is set aside just for that. So I'm going to cut this out all on the edges and try my best not to cut the actual card base at all. So there I have covered that. And then on the other side, I have, look at that, how good that goes with that. I have this beautiful dragonfly and the lace around it that I want to keep on this side of it. So I'm going to move some stuff around since I'm working with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper here. Move these because I will use those, alter those later. I have this out just because I thought it was beautiful and I wanted to see if I wanted to use it. Maybe not, maybe. Okay, so I want to put that on about like this. So I'm going to make myself a little mark at the top of where my card is behind there, and then make another mark where the bottom is, just right below. And then I'm going to put all kinds of glue on the back of this and just get on the edges really good. And spread that out. All right, so I've got the glue like I need it. I'm going to wipe off some excess that's on my grid paper behind it so we don't stick to everything. And then find my little marks and just line it up on my card. That 4x6 Project Life card or pocket page card, whatever you want to call it, because I'm not sure, I've blended everything together. I'm not sure what collection each one of these come from, or if they are true Project Life, or if they are from another brand. So I am not sure. But what I am sure of is that I have way too many of them, and I need a new way to use them. So I'm just running over that with my bone folder and then turning it over, and let's wipe off our excess and then use our sticky scissors to cut along that card and just make sure not to cut the card. I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom. It's going to be easier for me to get that big piece of 12 by 12 out of here and just start cutting my edges this way. And maybe I can use that later. Got a little hangover on this side. I'm just gonna run my scissors down the side of it and get off that hangover. All right. Oh my gracious. That is just beautiful. I love that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. I am going to round my corners. And with it this thick, your corner rounder might need a couple of chomps to get that done. Pretty, pretty. All right, on this side, the solid side, I'm going to do some, I'm going to do some book page, torn book page on this side. And, I mean, if you want to make these and not put pockets on them, they can just be little writing boards. That would be neat. You make these and you wouldn't even have to put pockets on them, and just make them as flat as possible. And they could be little mini writing boards for when you're writing in your journal on that page. There's another idea. Okay, so that's the upside. I'm thinking, let's tear like this, and then tear here and here. I like that. We have storms after storms after storms right now in Alabama because of that hurricane that's going through. I hope that all of my friends in its path are safe and sound. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges. Now, you can do yours just like I did mine, with the double secretarial pocket on one side and then the one pocket on the front. This is just vellum that I stamped with Stays On ink, and then put some book page on top, and then a banner here on the edge, and then just glued it all the way across and left the top open. And that's the little pocket on that side. I stamped here and then added that with my tab punch, and got out some old phrase stickers out and added those to the tabs. So you can do whatever kind of pockets on either side that you want to do. I want to do this one a little different than that one. And on the one side, that side, I think I'm going to not do as much and not make it a pocket. But on this side, dress it up a lot, probably, because it is just green cardstock. Dress it up and make a cluster or two on this side. But on this side, not do as much to it, because that's just pretty. I love that. Be a great accent in your junk journals. Now, if you have, like I said earlier, if you have Project Life cards, pocket scrapbook cards that you just adore, you could still do it like this and, you know, not cover it up all the way, but you could still make little pockets on it and put little 3x5 cards down in it. These are 3x4, I'm sorry. 3x4 cards. These are 3x4 cards. I keep saying 5. These are 3x4 cards. I apologize. I have corrected that in the video. Oh, my. Anyways, you can add them as is and not cover them. But to make them a little more vintage look, I'm going to cover mine. I'm thinking I will fussy cut this piece of cardstock that I have from that same collection that's on the opposite side of this. It's got this lace trim, and I mean, I'm not going to be totally precise on my fussy cutting, but I'm going to go around the edges a little roughly on this lace look. and I'm going to add that and have this as a tuck. Thought that would be cute, just a little side tuck on this green side. And then I may do opposite side tuck on the other side and just make this one a two tucker. Oh me. So yeah, that's my idea there. And bring this out just a little bit and let this be glued down all the way, ink around the edges. Have this as my tuck here for a couple of cards. And yeah, I like that. Maybe stamp some on the background of this. I like that too. So let's ink these outside edges that are going to be seen. Okay, I've inked, and now let's glue this down, and we really want to go all the way to the edge on this because we'll be sliding things in and out past it. And if I could pick it up, that would be wonderful so that I could put it down. All right. I didn't even look on this page to make sure there were no mean words. I don't see anything, just glancing over. Somebody's going to pause the video and look. That's okay. I'm okay. All right, and then let's do, I think I want to do butterfly. I did postage on this other one, and I think I will do, come here, Tab Punch, don't you go away, I'll need you in a minute. I think I'll do a butterfly stamp back behind here. Let's see, maybe there. That one's pretty. And since we're going over cardstock and paper and ink, and there's a little bit of glue, let's use Stays On here. And oh, I love that. That's pretty. Very pretty. And then see when we add this on here. Oh, I love it. Pretty. Okay. And then we've got Dragonfly on the other side. There. I'm thinking maybe a tuck here. And then we can add a card. And then when you pull the card out, you see that beautiful dragonfly. I might do on the tuck itself, whatever I put on here as the tuck, I might do a little bit of canceled postage or something on it. So, get back to this side. We've got that glued down. Let's ink this. And then I'm going to round these corners when I get it down and adhered where I want it. I'm going to get my 1/8 inch score tape to put this down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down, and then I will go back and round those corners off. So let's get this right where we need it, up against the edge. Okay, and use our bone folder to make sure everything's on there good. And then round those corners. And then ink the rounded. There we go. Oh, that is so pretty. I love that. It's not too busy. I really, really like that. Okay, so see if we were to use a 3x4 card, and you could even add 2 of them if you wanted to your little tuck there. All right, and then on the back side here, I'm thinking some of this light craft paper, because it goes really good with it, and doing just a small little torn tuck. So I'm going to do it out here, but I'm going to tear, so it's going to come away from the dragonfly there. So I want to trim this on my trimmer about here. So let's get that done. I've just got my trimmer off to the side. You won't be able to see that just because I've got so much on my desk right now. Let's see, how tall do I need this? There, and cut it off here. All right, and before I cut it, I'm going to go ahead and tear, because things are a lot easier, in my opinion, to tear when you have more to hold on to over here. So if I were to have went ahead and cut that, I would have this little bitty strip of paper I was trying to tear and get a good, nice torn look to, and I would only have that little bitty piece, and trying to hold on to that is very hard. Okay, I think I want to do just a little bit more here at the top. Torn just a little bit. See, this is harder than holding on to that big piece, especially when you're trying to tear cardstock. And I have found that the tear rulers don't really help me when I'm trying to tear cardstock either. Okay, yep, I like that. So let's ink this torn edge. An inked torn edge is like the prettiest thing ever to me. I love that look. I love how it kind of looks like a burnt look to it. That's just a beautiful thing to me. And then I'm going to add some torn book page also to this. So I'm just going to tear down. Now, as far as book page goes, it doesn't matter. It can be thin as whatever, and it is still good. It still works very good. Easy, easy to tear book page. Now, of course, some people will say this is horrendous, but oh well. I have decided I cannot dwell on the naysayers, because they are always going to be naysayers for whatever reason. Their life is just that miserable. So I just cannot listen to them anymore. So I've just started deleting their comments and their private messages. Believe it or not, they private message me. Down there, look at there. Yep, I like that. I like that it's not even all the way down. And I will tear off the bottom in just a minute. Now, torn book page inked around the edges is gorgeous, in my opinion. I love that look. And I hope that that never goes out of style, because you know what? I'm still going to be doing it. Even if I'm told it is out of style, I'll continue to do it. All right. Yep, just like that. And then I will tear that off in a minute after I get this glued down. And then I'll ink the bottom of it too. I'm getting quite a bit of glue on there so that it sticks really well. And my nails are just not wanting to work today as far as picking up. Goofy, goofy, goofy. All right, get my bone folder, I'm going to go more to the middle of it there. And then flatten it down. Go all the way to the bottom. Oh, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty. Love that. All right, get off all of the excess, or most of the excess. And when you are blotting off or getting something off of book page, you want to blot. See how I just run it down and it's got the ink from the book actually getting a little smeared, but it's all right. Okay, I'm going to tear this, and then I will ink that. Beautiful. All right, and then we'll add on the tuck on that side. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. All right, and get out our 1/8 inch score tape again. Okay, I've got that how I want it. I've got my score tape on the back of it, and I want to stamp before I put it on there. So I'm thinking this little first class stamp here, and I want to do it in the vintage photo and not the black. I like that. And it's just kind of off stamp on there. And then get that back. Cute. All right, and then I will round those edges in just a minute. Cut off any excess. It looks like I got it a little bit long. Pretty. Yep, I did. So let me get my sticky scissors back. Ooh, that sticky pad's got some, or non-stick pad mat that I used the other day has got some ink still left on it. I need to get off. All right, and then re-ink where I cut it off in that corner. Pretty. So we've got one side with a tuck, another side with a tuck. All right, so whatever ink I have on this mat, I'm going to, it was oxide ink, so I'm going to activate it with some water. That's all I did was get the water bottle and I activated it, and I'm just going to pick up all around where I see it that maybe the water didn't get on it. Just pick it up a little bit. And then that card that I wanted to use this side, I'm going to dab it down in it. That ink that's left on the back there. Pretty. Get a little brown going on the top half there. Oh, I like that. Very pretty. Okay, and let's see if we've got another one that maybe that goes with. Oh, that's pretty. Let's go with that. I know where some of these come from. Felicity Jane is where I got some of these cards from. I just remembered that. Pretty, kind of grunge it up some. I like that look. Very cute. I'm going to put this off this side to my left so I'll remember to get that taken care of. That needs to dry before I do anything else to it. But I really think that's going to be, oh yeah, that's going to be pretty in here. Look at that. How pretty. I love watercolor anything anyway, so that makes me happy. Okay, I think I'm going to get this one and I'm going to cover it all around both sides and do this lace on this side. So I'm going to put these off to the side, let them dry completely before we do anything to them. And we need to go ahead and do our tabs for this one also. So let's get glue and add all over this and spread it out. I'm going to cover this other side with the craft color or light colored craft cardstock, and then I'm going to fussy cut around this little rose and put that on there. All right, I'm going to do a coffee stamp on this side before I put down my fussy cut rose, and I'm just going to do it in the oxide ink. I've had quite a few people ask about this stamp set. This is an old one from Prima. It is called, oh, it's a cling stamp. I don't even see a name on it. It says Cling Stamps Prima 5 pieces. I'll show you. There is the code for it if you want to try and find that. But see, it's from 2015. It's an old stamp, so I'm sure they don't even make it anymore. But I have had quite a few people ask about that stamp set, so I thought I would share that info for you. And I'm just going to kind of stamp around on that and then look back at this. Yep, I'm good with that. So I'm going to ink the edges of this. Okay, and then I'm going to crumple it up a little bit so it's not so pristine. And then glue it down. The back side of that is gorgeous too. And I guess you could use this as a tuck too, but I don't want my 4x6 pocket to get too bulky. So I'm just going to glue this whole thing down. Once I get it in the right spot, just kind of go out from middle out to the edges with my bone folder, and then clean off my bone folder. And then get all the excess off with my dirty rag. Pretty. I like that. Very pretty. And then this back side, there's room for journaling on that side if you want to. I'm going to round my edges and then ink. So on your little 3x4 cards, remember that both sides are going to be seen. So you will need to ink both sides if that's something you are doing, is inking. You'll need to ink both of them. And then where I did my little wrinkles in this, I'm just going to barely move my blending tool over it so that those wrinkles pick up like that. Give it a little bit more of a distressed look. And I'm going to leave this side as is because I can do some journaling on that if I want to. And then see, adding that card into that tuck on that side. Or if you wanted to do secretarial pockets, same thing. Fits in both ways. And fit it in on this side also with the little different edges to this lace. You'll have to be a little more delicate on your pushing in, but it fits on that side too. I need to glue that little piece down. It come away from itself when I tried to put it under there, but of course I am trying to put it under there before it's dry all the way, before the glue's dry all the way. So do as I say, not as I do. There's that rule. Okay, and this one is still not completely dry, but I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of cardstock on the back of that one. This one is almost pretty much dry. So let's get our other 3 cards done for this one. Okay, I got these covered on the back, how I want them. Pretty. And I'm going to round the corners with my corner chomper that does not want to cooperate at this time. Oh well, I'll just have to manually get that trimmed, I guess. Okay, and then ink my edges. All right, I love that one on this side, so I'm adding that there, and maybe this one like this. Pretty. And then adding this one on this side. I love that. So this is 2 different ways. Let's add a tab onto this one. This is 2 different ways that you can alter those project life cards that you've got hanging out in your stash. Let's do it a little bit lower than we did that one on that side. Ink our edges. Use a little glue to put it all together. Oh, we gotta have it on the other side too there, Melina. Let's take these out for the time being while we get this on here. Okay, so I don't want to get it on there, so we're actually going to go higher. So it just barely clips the dragonfly wing on that side. And then it doesn't mess with our butterfly on this side. Get that tab on there like I want it. And I'm just going to try and ink. Look at that, what I did. Flopped it over on it. Just going to ink the notes section of this stamp. And get that added on there. I love that. Even though my stamp pad got off on it. Looks a little bit intentional. Yeah, we'll go with that. It looks intentional. Oh, I like that. Very cute. Or like on this one, I used some phrase stickers that I had in my stash. Okay, so this side gets this card tucked in, and this side gets these two cards tucked in. Love that. I love this. Now, if you want to make a secretarial pocket, all you have to do is get one of your 4x6 cards, cover it like you want it, and then lay it like this. You put your 1/8 inch score tape on the actual 4x6 pocket card where you want it, and then you cover a 4x6 card, and then you lay it down. That is exactly how I did this one. You lay it down. It only gets adhered here. You turn it over, cut off the excess, and you've got your secretarial pocket. And then same thing with this. This is just some tea-dyed paper. I laid it where I wanted it, put the 1/8 inch score tape on this actual pocket here, and then I laid down the tea-dyed paper where I wanted it, and then just turned it over and cut off the excess. So that's how you do the secretarial pocket, if you had a question about that. If you need me to demo it, let's see here. If you have this card and this card, you're going to put down 1/8 inch score tape where you want it. All the way to the bottom edge, and then all the way here, and then I'm going to leave that like that because I don't want that seam, and I don't want this seam. So you would take that off, have this covered like you want it, decorated it like you want it, ink this edge if you want to ink that edge, and then take these backs off, and then you lay this down just like this. That's adhered on now. It's adhered just here and here. You have this secretarial pocket. You're going to flip it over, cut off all of this excess, and then ink your edges. That is how I did the secretarial pocket for this. And then that little vellum pocket, you just glue around here, here, here. Put on your vellum, put on any kind of decoration, stamp on it, and stays on. That's how you stamp on vellum. And put on any other little things you want. You could even put a little piece of lace right there. That would be so pretty. And there is your vellum pocket on the one side. So I hope that this gives you some ideas to use up those Project Life Pocket Life cards that you have in your scrapbooking stash, because I know a lot of people aren't using them anymore, and it is a shame to have them in your stash and not being used. So I hope this helps you to get a couple of ideas on how to make some nice 4x6 pockets for your journals and traveler's notebooks. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see you in the next video. God bless. Bye.